Hello guys, I have some updates for you. Let's start. The angry tree now produces way more resin per kilocalorie. 200 kilocalories equals 1 kilogram of resin, but at a much slower rate. The update also states that they have added 4 classic style clusters in the Space Out DLC. For one, Arborea, Vulcanea, the Badland asteroid and Aridio. By the way, here you can see the tiny new symbols that indicate what special traits the asteroid might have. They have added a couple new points of interest with terrestrial artifacts to the Moonlet cluster asteroids. The Regulus asteroid now also has points of interest and terrestrial artifacts. On the water asteroid, the seabed is now thicker. Radiation also got a huge update. Remember the times that this was 25? Now it is 218 rads per cycle. The cute little shine bugs produce 5 times what they produced before. They are at 60 rads per cycle now. But what about wheat warts, I hear you say? Well, let's check that out. 468. And what about a research reactor? Well, that one got increased by 20 times. So we are at 10,000 rads per cycle. Or, yeah, 10,000. Holy moly. The glow stick dupes though have been slightly reduced, which is kinda nice, I guess. So what does this mean for our Red Bull generators though? Well, they reduced the effectivity of them by 90%. Otherwise this would shoot super fast. You can now use the on and off switch, not to prevent it from shooting, but to shut down the whole building. Also, as you can see, the Red Bulls are decaying very quickly, as indicated by the Red Bull decay message. So is it super easy now to mutate plants? No, it is not. They increased the mutation threshold by 10. So you need 10 times the radiation that you needed before to mutate a plant. And the ambient radiation needs to be less than 4600 rads per cycle. I guess before it was like 150 or something like that. And here we have a funny example of, well, germy water can be cleaned by radiation. So let's see if I find a germ overlay and if we can stand Camille near to it and it helps. Yeah, the germs are actually dying. Are the germs dying here? No, the germs here are not dying. They are only dying near to the radiation from our Camille, which is super funny. So what happens with polluted water with 1 million germs per tile next to our radiation generator? Let's see that. 1000 rads are enough to reduce the germ count by around, well, yeah, 1000 per second. This is normal speed. The standard duplicant, Mima, I'm talking about you, also now recovers 100 rads per cycle instead of 60 rads per cycle, even though I can't see it in here. The manual Red Bull generators now have a different sound and the animations have been finalized. We also do have a new building now, the Red Bull storage. One Red Bull hit it and we now have 24 Red Bulls stored. You see, the Red Bulls are not decaying at the moment. The problem is, if you cut the power for a short moment, the Red Bulls will start decaying very quickly again. The Red Bull storage also has an automation input and an automation output. The output probably tells us if the Red Bull chamber is full or not, and the input lets us shoot that thing. We also got 2 older buildings back, the asteroid scanner and the telescope. The update notes also say that the payload opener no longer requires duplicant labor. As you can see here, the duplicant is doing nothing and the machine opens it by itself. But the machine now needs power. The power needed is around 240 watts. We do still need the duplicants to supply the payloads to the building, which is super dumb. There is also now an empty storage button on the payload opener. The devs now also added a sound for when the automation hammer is hitting the manual Red Bull generator, as well as the radiation lamp. And we cannot forget about the mini-pod, that also has a sound now. Speaking of the mini-pod now has a proper animation and sounds. Another thing that should be mentioned is that the rocket platform now has two different outputs. The regular one that we had before, when the rocket is ready for flight, etc. And another one that tells us if there is a rocket on the platform. Speaking of rocket platforms, the rocket platform loaders and unloaders now need power. 240 watt to be exact. Every dupe now can get a skill called Suit Sustainability Training, which slows down the exosuit durability damage. Another very nice change they made is that bee tinies now can be trapped by Saturn critter traps as well as other traps. But as you've seen, apparently both of them got eaten. I'm not sure if that was intended. Another change also has been made to sucrose. I placed a blob of sucrose here. At around 180 degrees it turns liquid, and at around 230 degrees it now changes to carbon dioxide, which is a very quick method to produce large amounts of carbon dioxide very quickly. On this note, the specific heat capacity and thermal conductivity has been changed for solid and liquid sucrose. Apparently they also removed the second input for the smart storage bin automation. Weird. Some more honorable mentions. We have a new song called Leaking Dimensions. Leave it a like if you like this new kind of content. I'm not sure if I keep that up or if this was a one-time thing, but I thought I share my findings with you guys. And if you haven't already, go and check out that video here.